that your talent, your ability, what you were called to, your purpose in life.
My name is Mmanti Umoh, and I am an African. I believe that one of the most beautiful things about being me is the fact that I am strong, I'm powerful, I am beautiful, but I also do understand that as human, I have my frailties and I am imperfect. I would like to build an Africa where everybody is empowered to have their say, contribute to its development, and build communities that are safer, stronger, and nations that have educated citizens that are able to share what their mental health positions are and the things that ail them. I am building an Africa where every woman, young boy, girl, child, man is treated as equal. The laws that are provided are certain that their security, their mental health, their education is taken care of, and that they are not just left in communities where they have to fend for themselves, but that $1 would be the least they would ever earn, and whatever it is that they work for, they will be happy to leave as legacy. I want to build a nation where people are treated better. I want to live a nation where young people feel that their voices count, and not only do they feel, they know it counts. I want to live in a nation where better policies are made, where leadership is accountable, where women are in power, and where men feel the need to empower other women to take over from them, to work with them, to lead them, and to guide them into the future of work, of leadership, oil and gas, governance, and every aspect we would ever think about. I believe that Nigeria is a collective community of people that believe that there's a beauty in the future, or in its future, and that people are here and are ready to leave legacy.
A story about being a woman, and I have another guest in the house. So let's listen, let's learn, let's have some fun, let's share this experience. It's real stories, real women, and real experiences. Thanks for joining us. Mmanti, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, and for having me.
Accepting to feature in this story.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's just delve right into it since we don't seem to have a lot of time. What does being a woman mean to you as a person?
Being a woman, beautiful, powerful, engaging, sometimes confusing too.
Confusing?
Yes.
Is it painful at any point?
I think painful falls under confusion and trying to understand what the next thing would be if you had to be, wear the other shoes, what it would be like. So I put that all under the confusion, the mix of understanding what very things happen inside your body, outside your body, in society, around you, in your seasons of life, during your processes. Everything all come together for me.
If you had the choice, if you had the option to choose between being a man and being a woman, would you go for being a woman?
I would still want to be a woman.
Why?
It's beautiful being a woman. It gives you, I'm able to do more, I'm able to explore more. If for nothing else, it's that fact that I am multi-abled. I love to use the word multi-abled. So I'm able to think like a man at some points. I'm able to figure out, I'm able to do different things. I'm able to multitask. I'm able to, few men can multitask at the level at which I do. And I'm able to also be able to nurture, to guide, to bring to life. While that's it's the uniqueness that comes with being a woman. And sometimes it's a power that it is that it's cloaked, your power is cloaked under so much beauty, strength, and people are able to not see what is on the inside by just looking on the outside. That ability to camouflage my strength and come in the different dimensions I would want to is the most powerful of it. So yes, I would want to be a woman again and again.
So when the Bible says we're the weaker vessel, what does that really mean, really?
So I am not a religious person, but I am a Christian.
Okay.
So I do not argue from the point of belief, I argue from the point of reality.
So what's the reality
So
about?
I do not know about weaker or stronger vessels. I know that they're humans, one is female and one is male.
Okay, so thank you. There are issues that I really want you to talk about. I find your story quite interesting. You have a set of twins.
Yes, I do.
And yeah, they're beautiful people.
They're adults too. They're
Okay.
20.
How old were you when you had them?
I was a little over 14.
Would you share that experience?
Yes, I was raped and I had a set of lovely young men. And it's been a beautiful process through raising them. Some days you don't get it all together. Some other days you feel empowered through the process. More days there's a twist of, have I done it rightly? Could I have done it differently? And I sometimes want to say that they have been the best test experience for motherhood that I have had. And then being able to balance being a mother, being in power, having so much strength, wanting to do so much, being adventurous, and still being able to come up every day. For me, I sit back and I say it's a long experience, but it's been a beautiful one. And every day it still unfolds. So now as adults, 2 days ago, I look at them and I'm like, I see them becoming me. So in your children, you see different parts of yourself in them. You see some days see your strength, you see your vulnerability, you see your inabilities, you see your frailties, you see your fear come up in their eyes. And being the one to hold their hands through most of the seasons, and I'm using the word most because they won't always hold your hands through all their seasons, through most of the seasons of their life. For me, it's beautiful. And the experiences that have come, the learnings have equipped me to be able to raise another generation of women, ladies, men, children, understand what their fears are, boys, girls. And with mentoring boys and then girls, I would say that I have had experience. So it's not just coming from a point of view, it's coming from a place of experience to do that. So yes.
I'm very sorry. I think
There's no need to apologize.
I know you had them when you were young, quite young.
Yes,
I
please.
didn't know it was a product of rape.
Okay, yes, it was.
With what's happening today, fathers raping their children and all of that, I want us to stay more on the abuse part.
Okay.
So, do you know who did it? Was the person punished? What happened? How did your family handle it? And how did you as a person handle it at the time? How did you discover that you were pregnant from that incident?
Okay, so coming with today and abuse, I think that, like I said, when I was talking about the boys and the process, one of the key things that have prepared me for the battles I fight at Teen Nation, or as a management consultant, or as a person working in the center of young people, I have led organizations like the Commonwealth Youth Council. I have seen young children in Teen Nation Africa, the Teen Assembly, talk about their issues, talk about their pain. I want to say that the issue with rape is that over the years in Africa and in Nigeria most especially, the processes for dealing with rape haven't really been refined, which is the work I do today, part of the work I do today with the Teen Nation, bridging the gap for young people, young adults in Africa. And I must say that when you think of what a person comes through, like the most recent case, I was arguing it out with someone recently, or I was having a conversation rather with someone recently. And I say, you know, as much as it is said that the court has taken out that issue, this current issue in Nigeria about rape, there's still two facts that we cannot ignore. Someone has been accused of rape and someone has been raped. Until we can prove that this person wasn't the rapist, or we can prove that this girl wasn't raped, there are still two issues that we have refused to deal with as a nation. And I feel that was the same process that happened with me. But having learned parents, I would say I had the greatest support. I had one of the best senior advocates of Nigeria stand in courts. I had people stand up for me. I knew who the rapist was. We knew who it was. And more so being that it was somebody that was known. It sometimes has a way of messing with your mind and dealing with trust issues. I also see people come through that experience with a lot of mental health challenges. But because I was in the center of having to raise my kids, I was a kid, I had to work, I had to learn, I had to beat stigmatization, or I didn't also share the fact that I was sent out of school. And you see, I have also seen that in African institutions. The girl isn't allowed to finish her education because she is pregnant. Then what happens to the boy or the man that impregnated her? He's allowed to continue work. He's allowed to stay in school sometimes. He goes on with his future because one person bears all the identity of whatever it is that happened. And let's get this straight. Rape is not just about the act. Rape is about the aftermath. What happens to the person? What happens to the victim? What happens to the mind? Does she have babies? Does she have postpartum depression? Is she able to reintegrate into society? Did she have STDs? All these questions are put aside and the blame game is done to the victim. So on my part, the victim said, oh, she had the body of an adult. So there are many reasons why people do the things they do. Does that make the reasons right? No. But it is that a rapist simply holds on to whatever idea or ideology he has decided to build his own, would I call it a deficiency on, and attacks whoever he wants to attack. Now, looking back at how my issues were handled, I would wish that more children were able to have people that spoke up, stood up for them, that spoke. We would have more parents that were able to acknowledge the fact that their children were raped, whether male, and especially when it comes to male rape too. Because less male rape issues are being reported. So it's not just about my own issue, but less male rape issues are being reported, more parents being able to identify the fact that this is a criminal act. And whether it is a young person as I was, or an older lady at 90, or an older man at 70, that rape is a criminal offense. And part of the work I do, like I said, is to begin to grow a body of knowledge, data, information that helps not just our legal systems and judiciary, but even policy and governance really look into the issues of rape, the pre-13 and 21.
Thank you very much for sharing that story.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the issues that comes with being a woman, the things that women deal with, that they're struggling with.
I think coming from the place of management and power, I would say that that is one of the major points in African history that we need to overcome, where more women are integrated into power, where more women are given opportunities to lead, not just because they are women, but because they have what it takes to sit in places of power.
Opportunities.
Yes, given opportunities.
So look for opportunities.
So it is one thing. Yes, women do go out to look for opportunities and seek for them. However, how ready is the climate to accept women in leadership? How many opportunities are there? Do we have an equal playing field? If a lady comes, It is possible to have an equal playing field, but we need to advance some more. We need to keep pressing across the lines. We need to keep having these debates, these conversations, these negotiations with people in power. And women need to begin to also see men as allies. Because you see, if a man doesn't trust you, he won't stand up from his seat for you. And that we have multi-powers as women to be able to get you to negotiate whatever it is. I have an elder sister. I call her name is Uche. She keeps talking about the value of negotiation, knowing how to have conversations, knowing how to communicate. Listen to the things they're saying, more so to the things they are not saying. Why do you think a man will leave the seat of power for you? So I think that integrating more women into power, and then when women get into power, also understanding that we need to leave the doors open for more women to come through it is essential. So more men have given more men opportunities to come through. What do women do when they get into power?
Now that's a big question. All right, so let's come back to you.
Yes, please.
Are you married?
I am not married yet.
Are you in a relationship?
No.
Why not? What's your checklist like?
My checklist. When you say checklist, what do you really mean by checklist?
So
is it a to-do thing?
Yeah, to be thing.
To be thing.
Yes.
Okay,
he
so
must be thing. He has to be.
I think that the first thing is that I want to date my equal. Yes. I want to date a man that is not afraid of who I am, where I am coming from. So I see relationships this way. You pull, I pull. You pull, I pull. So as much as it is that I like really handsome men, well built and all that, but I need to be clear that intelligence must top that list, and with intelligence comes an ability for me to consistently be able to look up to you as you look up to me. So you give me a reason to want to run further as I give you reasons to want to push for your goals. So I'm looking for an equal. And very few men fit that much.
You see, I was coming to that. In Umoh, in Akwa Ibom, in Nigeria, how many will be able to stand toe to toe with you? And
so you're getting a bit personal about locations.
Okay.
I am open to, like I said, I just want a man that is my equal, and a man that is my equal. A man that is my equal will see himself as my equal. Nobody needs to introduce the equality we share to him. He would, whether he's in Umoh, whether he's in Warri, whether he's in, and I know that with the lots of the whole feminism work, masculinity and all that, but I know that in all this society, there are strong men that know what they want and know how to run and work with powerful women. I have seen powerful women that are married,
so you're not
happily married.
Yeah, so what about age? You're not afraid you're growing older? You're not afraid? You're not desperate about marriage?
So it depends on the angle with which you see marriage. Marriage for me is companionship. Okay. So when you say age, there's no age to companionship. There's no age to equality and growth and business structure and building nations. There's no age to which you find the right partner to work with. Finding the right partner is what is key for me. Whenever I find it, is that time for me.
And you don't have a problem waiting?
Why would I have a problem waiting? With the advancements of science, technology and all that, there's so many things. Why would there be a problem with waiting? Is it having children?
Yeah,
you can freeze your eggs. You can do IVF with your husband. And I can also have children without actually being married. I can do IVF.
What about Christianity? It doesn't agree.
So, we started at this point where I said to you, I am not a religious person, but I am a Christian. Okay. My first accountability comes to God before humans. So if I'm right with God, then humans will fall in place.
So let's talk to young women out there.
Okay.
There's this question of what a woman brings to the table today, and there are lots of demands. There are men who want women that can do a lot of things, and then there are those who want women that can just remain baby dolls or objects of beautification and things like that. Okay. It's a little confusing for a young woman which side to lie on or which side to not lie on.
So, you know, when we come to this conversation of women and who they want and what is expected of them.
And who is available.
So, because I am not doing an economics lesson with young women where I say opportunity cost a foregone alternative, I won't take any foregone alternatives. I would simply say to them, know yourself, self-awareness, self-discovery, self-management, social awareness. Where am I? Who am I? What am I going to become? And, you know, more often than not, we marry for who we are, not for who we are becoming, who we are growing into. I think that every young girl needs to sit down and see 20 years. Don't even look at 5 years. 5 years is too small. Look at 20 years. In 20 years, this is what I want to become. Marry a man that has seen 20 years and over of who you are. And because women grow exponentially. Is exponentially the word? I think that exponentially is the word. I would check the dictionary definition of that word. And but I think that women grow, whatever it is you provide for them. If you give them a very intelligent man, they will outgrow him in a few years. So marry for that time. And then, you see, you've had this conversation of what society expects of you. I have never had issues with my self-esteem. So what society expects of me really isn't the bother. Is how can I feed society with what I have? That has been my major challenge, communicating how strong I am to the people I want to communicate it to, or how vulnerable I want to be per time. So know yourself. Be comfortable in your skin. If comfortability to you means that you want somebody to take care of you, by all means, be that comfortable. If comfortability means to you that you want somebody to pay your bills, to make your hair, if what makes you happy is somebody that treats you like a doll, by all means be a teddy bear. But if being comfortable to you means being powerful, being strong, become all that. I recently listened to a clip that defined the difference between submission and obedience. And that threw light into what I want to say right now. When you have power, you understand submission. When you don't have power, obedience looks like submission.
What's the difference between the two?
So this was the description Jumoke, the architect, gave. And she simply said, I want to travel to New York, and I say to my husband, I have the money, I can pay my fare, I can do everything I need to do. And I say to my husband, babes, I need to go to New York. And he says, oh, please just hold on that. And I sit back. That's submission. I have the wherewithal to do what it is I want to do, but I have chosen to wait because I respect what it is your wishes are. But I also want to go to, that is submission now. Obedience is, I want to go to New York, and I'm depending on your ATM to pay for my flight ticket. And you say, wait, and I wait. That's obedience. Because to be truly submissive, you need to be powerful, understand what it is. I can't do these things, but I choosing, yes. So every young girl must be powerful. I want more African girls to become powerful. Understand yourself, get a grip of your surroundings, become everything you want to be, and then decide who deserves that level of submission.
I want to talk a little about relationships because it seems to be the one thing.
I wish it was my sister Uche that was seated on this seat right now. I am not good with relationships, but then ask.
That's true. I wanted to ask her this.
Ask.
Cheating.
Go ahead and ask.
Cheating in relationships. When is cheating cheating?
When is cheating cheating?
Yes.
Cheating is cheating to the cheater. Because I haven't cheated, I wouldn't be the right person to answer that question.
Come on, Mmanti.
But it's honest. Why exactly do I have to explain a theory I haven't worked with?
She does.
No, I didn't. I just do not understand the theory. The cheater, if you put a cheater on
You've been
the
in a
seat.
relationship before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so did the person find some other person more attractive than you and decided to go for them? Or did the person
What
find...
you just defined is a power of choice. He found somebody more attractive. That's his choice.
Okay, maybe he just stepped away to have fun and come back.
You step away to have fun. He wanted to have fun. It's still a power of choice.
So what do you do in response to that particular
So him having fun. I have fun too, if I want to have fun. And what makes me... So let me explain what my fun is. I can decide to go to my sister's place. I can decide to go and eat some ice cream. To the degree that fun is to a person, sure, then that is a power of choice. Some people are comfortable with having multiple partners. I hear polygamy in Africa is monogamy is not as approved as polygamy in Africa. Most African men. So we will come to the Ministry of Approval for Polygamy.
Oh, wow.
But then, but you see, where this matter is involved, I think, and I will still stay with, wrong is wrong based on what your idea of wrong is.
Would you leave a relationship because the person cheated on you?
How did he
Had
cheat?
another partner, had another sexual relations?
Had another partner, had another sexual relationship. Would I leave my relationship because of that?
Yeah.
I'm still yet to find a man that would want to cheat on me. When I find him, I would decide that.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. It was beautiful being here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm not sure we're done with the conversation on being a woman. I'm not sure we'll ever be done with it.
I think that conversation will never ever be exhausted because you will see women from different perspectives. You will see them, yes, their shapes, their sizes, their processes. I think their processes too is the beauty of every woman, black, white, Hispanic, whatever it is we are as women. You will imagine that the things that strengthen one woman are the things that break the other. And till we find those balances, let's accept who we are. Thank you for having me on Passion TV.
Thank you, Mmanti. Have a good day.
And you too.
Okay.